Kevin Templeman. 50, Jason Brown. Safeties, number 82, Aaron Yerkes. Number 80, Jason Wynn. And number 30, Matty Cervantes. For the Athenians on offense.
You see to both teams, guys, simply from a standpoint of this is bragging rights. These teams, this is much like a Monon-Bell type game. Everybody could be 0 for the season. You win this one ball game tonight, and it makes all the difference in the world.
So this is one of the well, probably the only sport where the sectional has nothing to do with this game tonight. North is in 2A, Crawfordsville 3A, but you've got your bragging rights that you're talking about. You've got you've got conference on the line here tonight for North, outright championship, and you've got the county championship more importantly. So this is a big ball game.
Flynn may be the first guy to touch the ball as Crawfordsville has won the toss and has elected to receive here, and they will be heading into, Tom, a pretty fierce wind. I know we had a mid-50-degree temperature call when we went on the air at 7 o'clock, but the wind has picked up from the 10-12 mile an hour that we heard about. It looks by the flags, we're going to be having a 20-25 mile an hour gusty wind.
It is really blowing right now, and straight from the south, so Crawfordsville's going to have a tough time throwing the ball in the first quarter, and they're going to have to rely, I think, early in this game on their ground game. Chad Carey with a great game last week, 153 yards on 20 carries, a couple of touchdowns, and they're going to have a big night out of him tonight.
Well, that gives us the chance for the first punt of the night. If he was their big money man last week, that would make him what, cash and carry?
Cash and carry, okay.
As J.D. Flynn steps back.
He'll be here all evening, folks.
Try the veal. At 15-yard line is Flynn, as the Templeman will put a toe into it. Last week against McCutcheon, North spread the kicking duties around. Tim Gerald kicked off a couple of times as well, as B.J. Slicker, I think, managed to kick off one time, too. And I think it was B.J. who kicked the tee one time farther than he kicked the football on one kickoff. But when you win 38-10, it doesn't make that much difference.
You can overlook those things when you're winning big.
That you can. As we get ready to go here, again, it's the 1-5 Crawfordsville Athenians, 6-0 North Montgomery Chargers, and we're just ready to get underway as Templeman puts the right foot into it. It's a low line screamer that just gets into the wind and rolls all the way through the end zone, and Crawfordsville will start out 1st and 10 on their own 20. And John, if you're North, that's what you do. You keep the hands out of J.D. Flynn by just putting it in the wind and kicking it through the end zone.
That's right, and get the defense on the field, because that's where North Montgomery has been real great all season, is their defense.
And Jeff, one thing South did last week that I thought was kind of deadly to them, they were squibby kicking the ball down to Jason Carey right at about the 40-yard line. He's not getting much of a return, but Crawfordsville started with excellent field position every time. That's a good idea to kick the ball deep.
Chris Cotton will bring his team up 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. The 165-pound senior quarterback will split Flynn out wide to the left side, set up an off-tandem back behind him, and Flynn looks to throw, and he throws it to Flynn. Flynn breaks a tackle, has a first down. He's across the 30, out near the 35-yard line. Kevin Templeman, the linebacker, has to bring him down. So Crawfordsville comes out on the throw. Flag also in on the hit, but it's good enough for 14 yards and a first down, as Crawfordsville works from the down position on first down. A good way to start your offense by picking up 14 yards.
Crawfordsville's had a lot of success with that play, Jeff, all through the season, especially when the defense has been playing a little bit soft on J.D. They give him about a 10-yard cushion. That can be deadly, because if J.D. can make a little juke and get to the outside, he can pick up a lot of yards. But that's Crawfordsville's bread and butter play. You'll see it a lot.
Dan Sadowski brings a play, and he splits out wide to the right side on first down. Cotton that back to throw again. He's got Flynn again, not this time on the near side. He'll pick up a couple yards across the 35 out to about the 38. Manny Cervantes, starting for the first time at defensive cornerback tonight for the Chargers, comes up with the hit, but John North is laying off of Flynn just a little bit, and the Athenians have done a good job seeing him the first two plays.
That's right. Great job by Crawfordsville coming out, throwing those little short passes, picking up some yardage on their first drive of the ball game, working the ball down the field.
We'll have to look at Tom's numbers and see. I don't know what the largest number of catches in a single game for J.D. He may
10 last week.
He may break that tonight. He splits out wide to the right side, slot right for Crawfordsville on second down. Handoff, first back through, fullback coming up the middle. This is going to be the sophomore Chad Carey, who had the big game last week against Southmont. He gets across across the 40, out to about the 41, maybe the 42. Templeman in on the hit, coming up again from the linebacker. If you're just, and Jack Whitecotton from the defensive end. Folks, if you're just listening to a North Montgomery game for the first time this season, you're going to hear the linebackers called a lot on the tackles. You've got Slicker, Flagg, Brown, and Templeman, along with Josh Rivers, who have about 80% of the tackles for this North Montgomery defense. On third down and short, Cotton on the handoff. We're going to have a spot here. It's going to be a close call and good on a good second effort. The Athenians will get the first down as Chad brings the ball across the 45-yard line out to the 46. Tim Flagg makes the hit, but not before. Good second effort by the sophomore running back, 185 pounds, 5'11" he stands, gets the first down for Crawfordsville. They maintain this drive with their second first down. They'll go from the 46.
This is very important. Not only is Crawfordsville picking up some first downs, but you're keeping B.J. Slicker away from the ball, and that's very important to keep this score close.
B.J. is that middle linebacker. You don't score very many points playing middle linebacker. We played a minute and a half of the first quarter. Cotton with an I formation behind him, rolls out, throws down to the right side, looking for Flynn. He's got him in North Montgomery territory. He's dropped at about the 45-yard line of the North, over on the North sideline. Just have to check all the white shirts getting up off the stack. Slicker is on coverage, as also Aaron Yerkes is over on a cornerback position. But double coverage, Tom, on J.D. Flynn is only going to keep him to a 9-yard game that time. It'll be second down and 1 for Crawfordsville.
J.D. Flynn is very, very similar to Chad Peckinpah we saw last year at McCutcheon. Great hands. Once he gets up in the air and gets his hands on the ball, he's going to catch it. He's got some of the best hands I've ever seen in a high school receiver.
We may have two of the finest receivers in this area, as Jason Gwynn also will show you some nice hands offensively when he gets a chance to catch the ball. On second down and short, the handoff goes to Carey. Carey on his third attempt of the game is hauled down by Mike Geralds. We're just going to have to check the spot. John, doesn't look like it's going to be a first down. He's going to be short by about a foot. Whitecotton also in on the hit for North Montgomery, and the ball will be spotted just barely across the 45-yard line. Actually, the back of the football still is on the 45-yard line of North Montgomery. We have no score. We're just underway. The Athenians have driven from their own 20 into North Montgomery territory.
One thing that you should look for, Jeff, is J.D. Flynn to be a decoy on offense. A lot of times he's been very effective going down and cutting to the inside. The other Crawford's receiver cuts to the outside. Flynn takes double coverage, and you got a man wide open. Watch for that play.
He's handled it 3 times already. Double wide out, as Cotton will just sneak it up the middle, and we'll just have to check on a spot. John says that Cotton has not made the first down yardage. The side judge on our side of the field has not gotten the ball, has not got his foot spotted even at the 44-yard line of North. Jason Brown came up from an inside backer position, John, and made a really good hit on Cotton. His forward line surge may be enough, but it may not be, as we're going to have a wave and a call for our first measurement of the ball game. And Perk, I'll tell you, I have learned over the course of the years, I don't ever doubt Mr. Roach. He says Cotton is about a foot short.
I say he's about the nose of the football short, maybe about 8 inches.
He's about a foot short. I'll stick with John.
Okay, well.
And Coach Chavatello has a fourth down decision now coming up.
I said 8 inches, he said a foot.
And looking at a fourth down call, Tom, as we wander away from disaster, what the Athenians look like they're going to go for it here. Have they done any short kicking on the season?
No.
I formation set up behind Cotton on fourth down. Whitehead in motion on the handoff, dive play straight up the middle. This is just going to be nothing more than the side judge spotting. I think, though, that the first down is going to be indicated. Yes, it will be coming. Carry on the call. I'll avoid as many times saying carry on the carry as I can tonight.
You can't. It's going to come out, I guarantee it.
Well, the first down indication is given. The ball is spotted squarely on the North Montgomery 44-yard line, and Crawfordsville has a fresh set of downs. We have 9:12 to go in the first quarter. Crawfordsville has run almost 3 minutes and half the length of the football field off.
I don't have any statistics on this, Jeff, but Crawfordsville has been very, very effective on fourth down, probably 80 to 90%.
High formation behind Cotton, and we've got flags all over. The first flag of the game coming, and generally when they stop the play up front, we'll have a procedure call coming up against Crawfordsville. So that'll back the ball up to nearly midfield, where it'll be first down now and 15.
That's been the problem for Crawfordsville all season, Jeff. You get some momentum, you start moving it right down the field, and you stick your foot out, and you put a bullet in it. Right in it.
Yeah, put a bullet right in it. Speaking of slugs, there's Eddie.
Yes, he made it tonight.
He would look good. He would look good in my chili.
Oh, don't even think it.
Okay.
Oh.
First down and 15 call coming up for the Athenians. Again, they have marched into, by way of 3 passes to J.D. Flynn into North Montgomery territory, but we have no score. Flynn's wide to the left side, I formation set up behind Cotton. On first and long, throws it out over the middle, looking for Dyson, and we're going to have a flag at the 40-yard line of North Montgomery. The pass was tipped away from Dyson, but there may have been contact, and now the referee has picked up the flag. The back judge, John, threw the flag, and after consultation with the official, said that the pass was tipped and the flag will be picked up.
That's right. North Montgomery does a real good job of that. Whenever the opponent goes back to pass the ball, they always have their hands up. Against McCutcheon, I know they probably tipped 3 or 4 passes in that ball game.
So now, Tom, that means it's a 2nd down and 15 call coming up, and things get a little more dicey for Crawfordsville offensively.
This is where you could see Flynn as a decoy right now. He's got, except now he's a single receiver out there with double coverage. So
on the right side, on 2nd down and long, looking for Jason Griffith, who brought the play in. The pass, though, goes outside. Griffin goes inside. Cervantes was on coverage. Jason Griffith has been more of a decoy than a catcher all season long. He has only 1 reception all season. The 165-pound sophomore brought the play in, but when Cotton saw double coverage on Flynn, he had to go to him.
That's a pretty good idea, though. Griffith is really fast, at a 20-yard scamper against McCutcheon, his longest gain of the year. He's really quick for a sophomore, but that pass was a timing play, and Griffith either didn't get a very good jump or Cotton saw some pressure and got rid of the ball too quickly. It was significantly overthrown.
3rd and long. Look for North to blitz everybody that they can. Here comes 2 extras. There's Cotton. He's got to get rid of it. Dumps it across the middle, and the pass is nearly intercepted by Mike Gerald. Gerald had a hand on it at midfield. The intended receiver was Sadowski coming out of the backfield. I'll check that. It was Kurt Dyson, the tight end, not Sadowski, and it was very nearly wrapped up. Mike Gerald, the big 190-pound senior, more of a monster back than a lineman, mostly because of what he does down in the line, Tom. Comes up with a big play, and now Crawfordsville is faced with 4th down and 15.
The tendency of Crawfordsville all season has been to get a good drive going, Jeff, and all of a sudden just stop 3 plays that were difficult at best and no yards, and now the kick.
Courtney Whitehead stands at his own 35-yard line. Gwynn and Yerkes are deep for North. Clean snap. Here comes the kick. Little pooch kick is just going to go down the right side of the field and then take a big North Montgomery bounce at about the 37, bounce back to the 40, and it'll be down by Crawfordsville coverage. The Chargers will have the ball for the first time. 8:32 to go in the first quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to High School Football on WIMC and WCVL.
Moffett Small Engines would like to invite you to their 7th annual Sawdust Days, October 7th through the 21st. Buy 1 steel chain and get the second for half price. 1 gallon of steel bar oil is only $4, and the full line of steel chainsaws, including the new model, 017, is sale priced at $199.95, plus leaf blowers at $59.95. And of course, free donuts and cider on each Saturday. Moffett Small Engines in Waynetown, your steel dealer in Montgomery County. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m.
On 1st down, Templeman takes the handoff, crosses midfield, crosses the Crawfordsville 40-yard line, is hauled down at the 35-yard line. As we get back to action very quickly, Brian Miller, strong safety for Crawfordsville, makes the tackle, but Tom, it may have been a touchdown-saving tackle, as after only a 9-yard punt, North Montgomery puts the ball on the ground. They go right to Kevin Templeman, their big fullback, and he just saunters down deep into Crawfordsville territory.
Certainly a very impressive opening play, as that was a quick hitter, and Templeman got to the outside very quickly, caught Crawfordsville's defense just a little bit asleep, maybe looking for a pass.
Pickup of almost 20 as Chris Cotton, we see him in the defensive backfield for Crawfordsville. It's 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line of Crawfordsville. I formation set up. Slicker hands off. Templeman's got it again. He's around the right corner. He's got a little bit of room. He picks up a blocker. He's down to the 30 and inside the 30-yard line of Crawfordsville, as now we start to see a pretty steady sprinkle of rain coming here on the press box window. Shades of 2 years ago. As we get a note from John O, winds are now gusting up to 30 miles an hour, and it's definitely going to become a factor as umbrellas are now starting to come out, but umbrellas are starting to fly here at Crawfordsville. We'll call it about a 9-yard gain for Templeman as the ball rests on the 27-yard line of the Athenians, and it almost looks like a snowstorm out there. The rain is literally blowing sideways. Slicker on 2nd down, hands off. Here's Templeman. He's up the middle behind the blocking of Brian Brown, Jason Brown, and Brandon Wolf in the middle of the offensive line. They surge forward inside the 25-yard line to about the 23. Josh Truax and Jamie Moore have the tackle, and it'll be a 1st down for North Montgomery. As bringing the play in for the Chargers is Cervantes. Backup tight end John Sparks leaves as Crawfordsville splits two wide outs to the left side. Calder and Ratcliffe go wide out left. I formation set up behind Slicker. 7 minutes plus a few seconds left here in the first quarter. Again, no score. North has their hands on the ball for the first time. Slicker looks to pitch. Runs wide left. Now pitches out wide to Cervantes. He gets around the corner. Inside the 20, down to the 15, and is rolled out of bounds out near the first down sticks at about the 15, 14-yard line. We'll just have to wait for the rain to cease and the players to unstack before John gets a tackle call. It's going to be Andrew Boucher on the tackle, but not before on this last second pitch. Manny Cervantes picks up another North Montgomery first down. The clock stops with 6:57 to go, and the Chargers are inside the 15-yard line.
And Crawfordsville's tackling leaves a lot to be desired. This is the way they start out a lot of games until Chavatello starts yelling at them. They do that a lot early.
First and 10 on the 12-yard line. I formation again set up. Two wide to the right side. Calder is one of them. Here's the ball on the handoff. It's Cervantes. He bounces off one blocker and then off one tackler, but then Jeremy Powell comes up from an outside linebacker position along with Chris Cotton and just does an excellent job of wrapping Cervantes up for a loss of about 5 yards back to about the 15-yard line. We'll call it about a loss of about 2, actually make it 3, as it'll be second down and long now for North Montgomery. John Sparks comes in. It'll look to give the Chargers a 2 tight end look here, as we do see that Sparks left, Gwynn right, as one back sets up behind Slicker. That is Templeman. On second down, 6:22 to go and counting. Slicker over center on the right hash mark. Takes the handoff, rolls out to his left, keeps it, got time, throws it out over the middle. He's got a man open. This is Gwynn. The pass is tipped away, though, by a nice defensive play by Courtney Whitehead. Courtney did a great job, John. Reached right over at the last second over Gwynn and tipped that pass away.
That's right, but North Montgomery had great line protection for B.J. Slicker. He had all day to pass the ball. Crawfordsville had great coverage on Jason Gwynn and the rest of the receivers.
It'll set up a third down now and 13 call for North Montgomery and Coach Charlie German as we get a timeout called by our officials.
Now you see that play at Lebanon's pass interference. Crawfordsville is defense.
That's just a good call.
We both had to play at Lebanon this year. So.
Yes. And you guys came out much the worse for wear on that one.
We did.
And we do have a whistle. We got a timeout on the field. North Montgomery's called an offensive timeout with 6:12 this year and over the last 2 years when B.J. Slicker is looking for the guy who's got to make a catch. It'll be Jason Gwynn.
That's right, like Charlie German said in his pregame interview. Jason really didn't have that good of a game, but any other ball game for any other player, it would have been a great game.
He can catch BBs in a snowstorm is the word that the coach gave me. First and goal, handoff, Templeman, touchdown. A 1-yard run at the 5:12 mark in the first quarter for North Montgomery has got the Chargers on the lead as Templeman rushing touchdown, I believe, looking at our numbers here. 5th rushing touchdown of the season. He had one last week against McCutcheon. I know in the season gets now over 300 yards total for the year. Gives North Montgomery a 6-0 lead. And the Chargers will go for 2-point conversions the entire night. They have done that on the season. Let's set up with 4 wideouts, 2 on each side. Templeman will set up behind him from the 3-yard line. Slicker calls the signals, takes the snap, rolls out, throws it out onto the flat. Templeman into the end zone for 2. Kevin Templeman on the season has not been a real prolific extra point or pass catcher. He had only 7 receptions. That is his 2nd extra point catching from Slicker over the year, but it does make it 8-0. North Montgomery takes the lead, and we'll be back with the Chargers kickoff right after this.
What can you buy that still works like new 20 years later? A Puritan water conditioning unit. It's true. Puritan water conditioners are built to last and last and last. Puritan's success can be attributed to making the best in water conditioning equipment, selecting
Mark at the first quarter. It was Kevin Templeman capping off the drive with a 1-yard run, and then Templeman picks up 2 points on the PAT from B.J. Slicker. And it's 8-0 as the drive took 3 minutes and 20 seconds as Crawfordsville will take their second turn at the ball here in just a few moments.
Big play of that drive, Tom, was the 4th down and about 8 conversion that came at the hands of Slicker on a pass to Jason Gwynn, which got the ball down to the 1-foot line.
Good play by the Chargers, and they made the big 4th down play when they had to.
Templeman will put a toe into it and squib it down the left sideline as we've got a flag. The ball goes out of bounds at about the 30, so the Athenians will have their option here of taking the ball to the 35 or making North Montgomery re-kick. My guess is, Tom, that they'll probably take the ball and head into a pretty gusty wind, gusting up to now 30 miles an hour.
Well, the way the wind's blowing, I think Templeman even moving a 5 back still get it in the end zone. So I think the smart thing to do here is take it on the 35, and it looks like the Athenians are doing just that.
They will take it on the 35-yard line, which is the rule in high school football, and take over with 5:12 to go here in this first quarter, trailing 8-0. They'll send J.D. Flynn wide to the left side. He had 3 receptions as Crawfordsville did a nice job early in their first drive. They'll hand off, though, on first down to Courtney Whitehead, and Whitehead, the 185-pound senior halfback, will plow over the right side behind the blocking of senior Mike Bannon and junior Steve Harris. He'll pick up a couple of yards, and it'll be Tim Flagg and Mike Geralds on the tackle for North Montgomery. We'll call it a gain of about 2. It'll be second down and a long 8 coming up for Crawfordsville now, going from their own 37.
Yards have been tough to get for Courtney Whitehead this year. He's obviously the Crawfordsville's featured back going into this season, and he's been a marked man, and all the yardage he's gotten has been really well earned.
62 carries, 184 yards coming into tonight's ball game as Crawfordsville on second down now sees the blitz. We've got a pass tipped by Sparks. Cotton was looking for, I believe, Flynn coming out wide on an out pattern down here to this near sideline. But I'll tell you, when a 6'3" junior John Sparks puts his hands up in the air, John Roach, he's a tough target to throw over.
That's right. Great job by John Sparks all season playing the defensive end, always getting his hands up. I believe that's his 5th tip pass of the season.
I know he's got 1 or 2 sacks to go along with it. Looking at the numbers, I believe just 1, and he was in on a couple of special teams plays as well. It'll be now third down and a long 8 to go for Crawfordsville as the clock is stopped with 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. And the Athenians will set up a pro formation, 1 wide out to each side, straight standard handoff or a snapback. Cotton is harassed. Here comes all kinds of North players, but he gets a flare out to Dyson out on the right flat. He's got the first down. He's into North territory to the 45, the 40 down to the 35-yard line. A great look, a great throw under pressure by Chris Cotton. Gets the ball to tight end Kurt Dyson. Dyson, who averages about 19 yards a catch on each of the times he handles the ball, gets the ball deep into North Montgomery territory, but most important, Tom converts on the third down and gives the Athenians a fresh set of downs.
Well, the Athenians really needed that. They really didn't want to kick into that strong wind. They would have given North great field position, and I'm just surprised there wasn't a holding there somewhere along the line of that much activity in the backfield. Gain of 28 yards, and Dyson just kind of sneaks out there. He was a safety valve, but great play.
And a good tackle by Kevin Templeman to keep Dyson from going any farther than the 28 that he went. On first down, here's the handoff. This is going to be Whitehead, and he's going to be smothered by 3 different North Montgomery players. Templeman's one guy up off the stack, Flagg's another guy up off the stack, and also Jason Brown. 3 linebackers in on the tackle, Tom, and Whitehead had all the difficulties in the world. He lost 2 on that carry.
And that's really linebackers that Charlie German's just got to love. They're all about the same. They're all about 200 to 210 pounds. Got to be tough to run on. If I were Courtney Whitehead, I'd say let's throw a little bit more.
And those 3 also are defensive coach's dream too, because they're all filled full of mean. Second down and long coming up. Griffith brings the play in. Whitehead keeps his backs in the throw, throws out on the flat, looking for and catching the ball is J.D. Flynn. Even under good double coverage by Manny Cervantes and Jason Gwynn, the pass is completed out on this left flat, and out of bounds goes Flynn, his 4th catch of the ball game, and it'll set up now a third down and short call for Coach Chavatello.
And if you notice J.D. Flynn that time, he knew exactly where he was. He looked down, caught the ball, got the foot in and out of bounds. He is so good at that. He plays well beyond his years. He looks like just a small college receiver. I mean, he really knows what he's doing out there.
The ball is spotted on the 27-yard line of North Montgomery. The Chargers have gone into Charger territory twice. Flynn and Sadowski go wide to the right side, double set behind on the quick pitch. Here's Whitehead. He's got the first down, breaks back. He's going to score. 5-yard line, touchdown, Courtney Whitehead. A great cutback after getting through the initial line of scrimmage. Courtney Whitehead goes 27 yards for the Crawfordsville score at 3:12. So I can do the math on this one, Tom. That's exactly a 2-minute drive for the Athenians, and they do most of it on the ground, although they do come up with 2 big pass receptions to Dyson on third down and a big pass down here to J.D. Flynn. But now it's an 8-6 ball game, and as we talked before the ball game, before we even went on the air, staying close to North Montgomery has got to be one of Crawfordsville's early game goals.
very important for Crawfordsville to come back and answer North Montgomery's first touchdown. That gives Crawfordsville the momentum back with a chance to tie the ball game.
Looking for two. Cotton throws it out, up for grabs, and unable to make the catch as falling over defenders out on the flat was Courtney Whitehead. Whitehead needed more than his 6'3" frame, as Whitehead that was covered by Kevin Templeman. Whitehead has his third touchdown of the season, and the Chargers will get the ball, but they're up by 2. We'll be back with Crawfordsville's kickoff right after this. You're listening to High School Football. Whitehead, as we noted, his third touchdown of the season on the ground, caps a 65-yard drive for Crawfordsville as they took over after the short kickoff went out of bounds by North Montgomery, and we have an 8-6 ball game as the extra point attempt failed.
It was a 6-play, 65-yard drive, and again, it took exactly 2 minutes. Whitehead going the last 27 yards on a great inside handoff. The PAT pass was no good to Whitehead. Chargers now lead at 8-6, but that was an enormous touchdown for Crawfordsville to stop the North momentum, and more importantly, the Athenians didn't have to punt into that wind.
That they did not have to do, and John, that very uncharacteristic over the last couple of weeks of what we've seen with the North defense. They normally have, once they've slowed a runner down at the line of scrimmage, they've generally not let him loose.
That's right, and one thing Crawfordsville did, the line blocking did an excellent job getting Courtney Whitehead into the secondary, and then the rest of the receivers did nice blocking and freed him up.
Whitehead made a great cut, folks, at the far hash mark at about the 20-yard line. He made a solid cut to the left, and nobody was going to get back to him. Calder and Cervantes are back deep. The squib kick, though, is going to be touched by one of the up north players. Nick Johnson has the ball bounce low off of his knee pads and his shin. It bounces forward about 2 or 3 yards, and then Andrew Dowden falls on it. So North Montgomery averts a disaster. They'll have the ball first down and 10, Mr. Perkins, at their own 37-yard line. 3:08 to go in the first quarter.
3:08 is nothing, and Crawfordsville's just got to hope now that they can get a big turnover, because it looks like North is going to be able to move the ball both through the air and on the ground. Crawfordsville's now got to hope that they can get some turnovers to keep this thing close.
3:08 might be nothing, but it's not chopped liver there, buddy. As North Montgomery sets up 2 wides to the left side, tight end, bringing now Cervantes in motion. Templeman behind Slicker on first down. BJ on the keeper, takes the ball back away from Templeman, who had been going into the line on a dive play. Jamie Moore comes up from a defensive end position to bring Slicker down after a gain of about 3 yards. Also, Truax in on it, and Tom, that was more of a design play that we've seen North run, where BJ will take the ball, fake it into one of his running backs, generally Templeman, and then pull the ball away, and then he a lot of times drift back and throw. This time he ran.
Even with pretty much a busted play like that, BJ still picks up 3 yards. It's pretty much a testimony to his athletic ability.
Calder wide to the right side. Cervantes goes wide left as the Chargers show run and shoot. Slicker back to throw. Pumps once. Throws deep. Looking for a man out in the corner, and he's got a man. That's Ratcliffe, who will haul it down at the 35-yard line of Crawfordsville. Brian Miller got turned around. Craig Boyd was coming over there trying to help. Ratcliffe, John, actually had the benefit of stopping, and he slipped, and that may have been one of the best things that happened to him, because the ball fell right into him as he was going down.
That's right. Sean Ratcliffe had an excellent ball game last week against McCutcheon. Comes out with a great big catch here late in the first quarter.
And it'll give North Montgomery a first down after a pickup of 13, about 25, 26 yards. So it'll be first down with Cervantes coming in motion to this near side. Slicker on the handoff. Here's Templeman. Breaks a tackle. Breaks 2 tackles. Down to the 20. Down near the 15-yard line, where he's hauled down from behind by Craig Boyd of Crawfordsville. So another first down run by the big bruising fullback of North Montgomery. Kevin Templeman, the 210-pound junior, rumbles down for another North Montgomery first down as we go under 2 minutes to play in this first quarter.
If you notice Crawfordsville's attempt at tackling that time, Templeman, very poor. Crawfordsville has really done that a lot this year. They try to tackle high. It just doesn't work.
The ball on the 17-yard line of Crawfordsville. Wide out to the left side goes Ratcliffe as Slicker keeps Templeman behind him in a single back set on first. Here comes Cervantes in motion again to the near side and reverses field. Slicker on the wide pitch. Pitches out. Cervantes wasn't there to pick it up. He's got to try and dive for it. Does.
To be a little bit farther out than what he really was, and when he pitched it, hit the ground, and it was anybody's ball.
Turnovers have not been the fare for North Montgomery, but they give one away here with 1:14 to go in this first quarter. Cotton back going into motion. He'll hand off. Here's Whitehead. Busts the tackle to the 35, to the 40-yard line where he's hauled down by Gwynn, but we've got a flag at the line of scrimmage. We'll have to wait and see. Here comes the call, and it's going to be a hold on Crawfordsville. So, Tom, a big run, about a 15-yard run by Whitehead, who just exploded off the left side behind the blocking of Truax and Jared Eskew. It's all going to go for naught.
And Whitehead had a 65-yard touchdown run called back. I believe it was against Lebanon. Very same thing again. Crawfordsville makes too many critical mistakes that really negate big gains.
We'll give Whitehead about a 1-yard gain or so, and then they're going to mark the ball back 10 yards, so the ball will be officially spotted on the 15-yard line. The ball just forward to the 15. Call it the 15. So it'll be a second down and long call coming up. It'll be about 20 yards to go here for the Athenians, and Cotton brings his offense back out. He'll split Griffith wide to the left side. As he'll take the snap on the handoff, misdirection comes inside, only a yard or two. It'll be carry on the call. He'll get only a yard or two, though, at the most, as Mike Gerald read the misdirection out, Tom, and stayed at home to come up for the tackle.
Now you'll see Crawfordsville keep the ball on the ground the rest of this drive just because they want to punt with the wind behind them, because that's very significant. Crawfordsville will not put the ball in the air right now, I wouldn't think.
It's a gain of maybe one at the very most if you want to be real generous as a statistician. If not, we'll call it second down now and 20 to go as we're down to the final 25 seconds of this quarter. So we'll test Perk's theory out here and see if the Athenians do just keep it on the ground in second and long. Cotton with the ball does. Hands off on a draw play, gives it to Whitehead. Whitehead will be dropped for a loss of a couple more yards as Jason Brown, Mr. Roach, was coming in on a blitz and was right there at the right place at the right time defensively.
That's right. Jason Brown did an excellent job playing a defensive end position, or linebacker for the Chargers. That time he was right in the backfield of Crawfordsville.
It'll be a third and long coming up for Crawfordsville as that ends our first quarter play. At the end of one, it's North Montgomery 8, Crawfordsville 6. We're back after this timeout message. You're listening to High School Football on WCVA first quarter stats.
Okay, the Athenians ran 20 plays in the first quarter. 11 of those were rushes and 9 passes. Don't have the yards figured. Yes, I will do that. The Chargers with 10 rushes and only 3 passes. So the Athenians have outdowned the Chargers 20-13. That's very important time of possession for Crawfordsville, and it's an 8-6 game.
And Crawfordsville faces a third down and forever. J.D. Flynn wide to the left side. It's about 23 or 24 yards to go here on third. Cotton looks to throw on the first play of this quarter, and the pass is out, and Flynn's got it. 2 North Montgomery players have fallen down, and J.D. Flynn will not be caught. He will go all the way for a touchdown. It's going to be 78 yards, and Crawfordsville takes the lead. Double coverage, 89 yards. Thank you, Tom. I looked at the wrong number on the scoreboard. From the 11-yard line, it's 89 yards, the longest play of the season there for Crawfordsville, as 2 defensive coverage men for North Montgomery going for the interception, John, ran into each other, fell down, and Flynn wide open and scampers the rest of the 89.
That's right. Josh Rivers and Aaron Yerkes were both on coverage for North Montgomery. They both went for the interception, and J.D. Flynn just went up a little bit higher, cut the ball. The rest was history.
What a great play by Crawfordsville on that as they take a 3rd and 22 play and convert it into the lead on the first play of the second quarter. 11:45 to go here in the second. And Crawfordsville on an 89-yard pass to J.D. Flynn takes the lead as the Athenians look for 2 and get 2 on a pass to Courtney Whitehead. Slicker looking for the pass to be batted down, couldn't quite get to it, and Whitehead takes it on his hip, turns around, and goes in for 2. And so, with 11:45 to go here in this second quarter, Crawfordsville takes the 14-8 lead. I believe, John, only about the third game this year. I know they trailed against Frankfort. I know they trailed against Sheridan. As now Crawfordsville will kick with the win. And we'll get John O here in just a second. Got some scores from around the area.
We've got Western Boone with 12, Southmont with nothing, 9:32 left in the second. Western Boone took the opening kickoff 70 yards for a touchdown.
All right, thanks, John O. We'll keep up with the Mounties' final home game of the regular season, although we do know that Southmont will open the playoffs at home against South Vermilion. Harvey Keller with a note.
That was last year. Crawfordsville led North one time 17-14, and North came back with 20 straight points late in the game and won 34-17. So North fans, if you're a North fan, don't worry yet. If you're a Crawfordsville fan, better cross your fingers
and hope that the defense keeps on playing well. And the Crawfordsville defense has played pretty well, as so far it has been a game of big plays, Perk.
And that was a 4-play, 75-yard drive. It took a minute and 38 seconds. It was a J.D. Flynn 89-yard pass reception from Chris Cotton. It came at the 11:45 mark of the second quarter. Whitehead took the 2-point PAT from Cotton. Athenians lead it now 14-8. And Jeff, here we go again. I'll get you some numbers the first quarter.
All right, as the kickoff for Crawfordsville goes into the end zone for the touchback, and we're going to get John O back in. That I understand we've got a non-sports item to get on the air.
Yes, sir, Jeff. This is a traffic note that we want to pass along to you. There is an accident on the east side of town, East Market and Oak Street, and apparently there's quite a bit of congestion around there. We'd like to suggest that you avoid that area for perhaps the next 30 minutes. East Market and Oak Street, there's a traffic accident over there. Thanks.
Hey, we live on East Market Street.
That's right over by Ken's. For some of you people who are looking for a landmark.
right there at the Y intersection.
For all of you people who are trying to figure out where that is, it's over by Ken's. Over by Decal.
All right, right by Decal. That's Crawfordsville now leading 14-8. Back on defense. Slicker with the ball, 1st and 10 at the 20. Cervantes goes in motion now to the far side. Slicker with a fake. Throwing deep. He's looking to tie it up all at once. He's got Calder, and there's a catch. Calder's got the ball. Coverage by Cotton, but stopping just again as defensive coverage, John, overruns the North receiver. Cotton comes back over the ball, and Calder comes up with a big catch.
That's right. You know, the Crawfordsville defenders are slipping just a little bit, giving North just enough time to come back, catch the ball.
37 yards on that pass play, so Slicker looking to go right back and tie the game back up, Burke, as he looks for one of his favorite receivers through the course of the season, Clint Calder, who averages 24 yards a catch every time he hauls one in.
BJ now 3 out of 4 for 63 yards.
Cervantes comes out wide on a split to the left side on first down as Crawfordsville back defensively now, looking for Gwynn on the catch. BJ gets the ball out to him on the right flat. He'll pick up about 6 or 7 as he gets inside the 40-yard line. I'll check it. We're going to wave it off. The ball went off Gwynn's fingertips. Once it gets out into the stack of North Montgomery players on the sidelines, and the official gives me an indication of something that he's probably never done before. It's only the 7th game of the year, for crying out loud. Do you think he'd use the right indication?
It's still early.
Yeah, good point. 2nd and 10 is what we've got, though, at the 37-yard line of Crawfordsville. Ratcliffe, Cervantes wide to the left side. Slicker back to throw. Got some time. Puts the ball out on the flat, looking for Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe on a down and out. Can't get to the ball. Good coverage there by Brian Miller, and it'll be 3rd down and 10 coming up.
That's I haven't seen BJ play this year, but it looks to me like that's probably one of the few bad passes that you'll see him throw. But he's limbered up his arm now. Both quarterbacks having good nights so far. Cotton is now 6 for 10 for 155 yards and a touch here in the first half.
And 89 of those again coming at the hands of J.D. Flynn on the long 3rd down play. It'll be 3rd down and long here for Crawfordsville, for North in the Crawfordsville 43-yard line. Slicker puts wideouts 2 on each side. Back to throw, and we've got flags at the snap. Should be a dead ball foul. Should be a procedure call coming up against North Montgomery. It will be. It's the Chargers' first infraction of the ball game, and that'll make it now 3rd and 15.
That's really not too bad at all for the Chargers. You throw BJ an extra 5 yards. Just give him a few more yards passing.
Yeah, that's about what it boils down to. But it brings the ball back to the 48-yard line of Crawfordsville. We've got 10:52 to go here in this first half. Our score is Crawfordsville 14, North Montgomery 8. Calder wide to the right side. Gwynn wide to the right side as North shows run and shoot. Templeman in. Here comes the blitz. Here's the inside screen, and unable to handle the ball is Sean Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe would not have gotten even back to the original line of scrimmage. Good defensive pressure that time by Brian Miller, and also other coverage in the backfield. I believe Boyd was over there, Tom. They had that play smelled out. It looks like they'd been looking at the right films.
And the Athenians had a good pass rush that time. More importantly, BJ had to get rid of that ball quickly, and even if that ball would have been caught, it would have been no gain probably.
4th and 15. Slicker back in short punt formation. He stands at his own 45-yard line, and now we've got
offsides Crawfordsville.
Offside Crawfordsville, mean, that'll make it only a 4th down and 10. But, Tom, what that does is that sets you up deep enough into Crawfordsville territory that maybe you start thinking about a fake kick, which North did last week at about the same spot on the field against McCutcheon.
Which might be a good idea if Crawfordsville hadn't just scored on an 89-yard pass with the wind to their back. So that's still something you really have to look at. But it looks like BJ is still back in punt formation, but not very deep in punt formation. So
we call it the long shotgun formation is what we've kind of come to call it here. He stands near the midfield stripe. Now does back up a couple yards. He'll kick the ball away, a short little pooch kick into the wind. The ball will bounce at about the 20-yard line, bounce down to about the 19-yard line, and it'll go dead at that point in time. 10:28 to go in the first half. Crawfordsville leads 14-8. We're back after this timeout.
North Montgomery Charger football is brought to you in part by Linden Food Plaza, coming soon to Linden, offering Phillips 66 gasoline, Chester fried chicken, hot stuffed pizza, and smash hit subs. Watch for the Linden Food Plaza. National City Bank, offering new choices for the way you bank, going the distance for you. County Market on South Boulevard in Crawfordsville, where you can shop anytime, 24 hours a day, and you'll always find low bottom-line grocery prices. Remember, these high school football broadcasts are made possible by sponsoring businesses. Be sure you stop by and tell them you appreciate their support.
Crawfordsville with the lead has the ball back. The ball will be spotted right on the 20-yard line. 10:08 to go as we noted here in this first half of play. Cotton on the short draw gives the ball off. On the carry will be Jeremy Powell, who on the season has about half a dozen carries on the entire year. We didn't even have him on the 2-deep chart. He'll go in the 3-deep for Mr. Roach. We'll give him about a yard, maybe 2 on that, out to the 21-yard line where it'll be second down and a long 8, short 9 to go for Crawfordsville.
Since he doesn't get too many carries, we'll give him 2 yards.
All right. The benevolent statistician that he is. And now we've got a timeout on the field. This timeout is asked for by Crawfordsville. They're first to the timeout.
And whatever this is, member FDIC.
Back out at Crawfordsville's new complex. Mr. Perkins, good point well taken, as John Roach had mentioned before our game started, that Crawfordsville had this game taken pretty seriously. North may not have, and the Chargers look a little stunned right now, as on second down, Cotton looks long, looking for Whitehead coming out of the backfield, and the ball will be overthrown. Coverage by Aaron Yerkes, as it'll be now 3rd down and 8 coming up for Crawfordsville's offense.
I mentioned that before we came back. It just looks like North, they're just standing around there. Their crowd's just sitting there. Everybody's just standing on the sideline, not doing much. And I think they are just a little bit in disbelief right now that they're actually behind a team that's 1-5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at the scoreboard. It's true.
I'll tell you what, though, Charlie
score.
knows this could happen. Charlie knows this can happen. And if there's a coach can get him out of that funk, Charlie can do it.
Well, the good thing, too, is that over the course of this season, North's got the seniors that in the right spots that they generally don't panic in situations. Here's Cotton on 3rd down. He's got Whitehead. Whitehead on a slant pattern over the middle is going to be close to the 30-yard line, but needs to get to the 30-yard line, and it will be just short of the 1st down. So it'll be 4th down coming up. Yerkes and Gwynn on the coverage for North Montgomery, but the officials will take a moment here to look at it, as Courtney did get a pretty good spot. The ball actually a little closer to the 30-yard line than I thought he was going to get it, based on where he had been brought down.
I have no comment. I missed the last one, so I have no comment.
Well, I thought you were going to say something about the good good home field cooking. I thought you were going to talk about the spot, as it is a 1st down. So it'll be a gain of 9. Make it 8, though, because you gave Powell 2 on that last carry. And the ball will be spotted at the 30-yard line, where it will be 1st down and 10 for Crawfordsville.
Cotton now 7 out of 12 passing for 163 yards and a touchdown. So that's a pretty good game, and we still have 9 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second quarter.
Also important, I think, for Crawfordsville to throw the ball to other people besides J.D. Flynn. The good pass on 3rd down to I believe it was Kurt Dyson, yes, on the 3rd down conversion, and now this to Whitehead. You start spreading your receivers around. That makes Flynn a lot more potent. 1st and 10 coming up. Pro set formation for Cotton, looking to throw again.
Cut.
He's got a man open, and a good tip away, as the ball may be just a little bit wet. Manny Cervantes got a hand in to Courtney Whitehead's fingertips a little bit there and tipped the ball away.
Courtney Whitehead faked Cervantes out big time. He was wide open. If Cotton would have thrown that ball a little bit harder, that would have been 6 points.
Yes, as Cervantes, as we noted at the start of the ball game, is seeing his first starting action at a cornerback position. He'll spread out wide now to the right.
Looking for an article of clothing out there right now that he just got faked out of.
And very thankful for probably a couple of North defensive coaches.
The ball was a little underthrown, though, so that's...
And maybe just a touch wet. Whitehead splits out wide to the left side on second down and 10 on the handoff. This is going to be Powell on the carry on the handoff from Cotton. Powell will cross the 30 and get out to about the 32-yard line, pick up of a couple 3 yards, and it'll be a now third down and long call. Jack White-Cotton on the stop for North Montgomery. 8.5 minutes to go and counting in the first half, and what's been a relatively fast and quickly played ball game, at least by the standards we normally see with a lot of passing. Again, our score here at Crawfordsville, the Athenians lead 14-8, and they have the ball. Flynn will split out wide to the left side. Whitehead will go in the slot on the same. I formation behind Cotton on third down. He'll throw. He's got some time. He's got a man open. The ball is tipped, caught by Whitehead. Slicker put a hand on it, but Whitehead came up with it. Gwynn put the tackle down on Whitehead, and the ball will be spotted at about the 35-yard line. So it'll be a gain of only a couple on the pass, and Tom Slicker came very, very close to tipping the ball straight up in the air, and had he done that and come down with it, we'd be going for a two-point conversion on the other side.
That's a very good play by BJ that time. Just to tip it up like that and give Whitehead credit. It was a short gain, but give Whitehead credit for keeping the concentration to catch the ball. But Crawfordsville's going to have to kick, and Whitehead, after a 9-yard punt on the first one, is going to have to really get a foot into this one to keep the Chargers pinned deep.
He's going to kick with the win. Yerkes and Gwynn back deep. Clean snap, not much of a rush, and a good kick by Whitehead goes all the way down to the 29-yard line, where a fair catch is called for by North Montgomery. So with 8:02 to go here in this first half, North Montgomery will have the ball. When you come back in 30 seconds, our score, Crawfordsville 14, North Montgomery 8.
Coming October 7th, everything you need for the perfect celebration is all under one roof. Sherry Celebration, etc. will offer complete packages for small rooms or the ballroom. They'll take care of everything from the food to the music, even the address and mailing of invitations. Reasonable rates and courteous helpful service will be just a few of the specialties of Sherry Celebration, etc. Just remember, the road to fun starts with Sherry Celebration, etc. US 231 south of Liberty Square in Crawfordsville. Call the owners Jane Sherry Evans Mercer at 362-FUN. That's 362-2FUN.
After the 39-yard kick by Courtney Whitehead, the Chargers start off with the ball just inside their own 30. They'll go on the ground the first time, and Josh Truex on a big tackle along with Kyle Cadinger on a tackle of Templeman for only a gain of maybe a yard if you're very generous. Probably, though, Tom, it'll be more like a, all right, we'll call it a yard.
We'll give him a yard.
Be nice.
I'm the easy guy.
Yes, you are. Second down and 9 coming up. Splitting wide to the left side, Ratcliffe for North Montgomery. Single back set behind Slicker. Cervantes goes in motion deep on the far side. Slicker back to throw. Has some time. He's got Gwynn across the middle to the 40, the 45-yard line. And now they're going to rule that Gwynn bobbled the ball. The ball popped loose just as Gwynn got to the ground. In the mad scramble for it, a couple of Crawfordsville players were going for it as well. The pass is going to be ruled incomplete. Brian Miller with good defensive coverage. Chris Cotton over there also to help. Cotton seeing a lot of action now defensively for Crawfordsville in the backfield.
Well, that's a tough call. It looked like Gwynn had taken a couple of steps with control of that, but certainly his back was to us, and we couldn't see the bobble. The official was right on top of it, so we've got to assume that he was bobbling the ball.
Third down.
A good catch here, though.
Third down and 9 is the call coming up. Slicker moves back into the spread formation for the first time. Ratcliffe comes wide to the left side, as does Cervantes. Slicker calls for the ball. Gets it. Again, has some time. Throwing deep. He's looking for Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe hauls it in at the 40 down to the 35-yard line of Crawfordsville. Inside the 35 down to the 32. Sean Ratcliffe just stretched out. Boyd and Miller there on coverage, John. But Sean Ratcliffe needed every piece of him to get that ball on a perfectly thrown pass by B.J. Slicker.
And I think B.J. was so surprised to see him so wide open. It looked like Sean just beat the guy right off the line. Probably had 3 or 4 yards, and B.J. just put it right up there.
Big third down conversion for the Chargers. They move now from the 32-yard line of Crawfordsville as we go down to the 7:15 mark of this first half. Cervantes in motion to the far side. He'll take the pitch from Slicker on first down and then slip at the 35-yard line and go down. So don't know if it was a shoelace or just a little bit of wet field on that, as Manny Cervantes, the 155-pound junior running back, will lose a couple of yards and set up second down and about a dozen now for North Montgomery.
Looks like it pretty simply that was a wet field. He tripped over that one, looked like over his own shoelaces there, and he went down for about a 2-yard loss. But again, for BJ, Okay, that's not that much.
39 yards on that last pass completion to Ratcliffe, and it'll be second down and a dozen to go. Again, Cervantes in motion. Seeing a lot more of that tonight than we've seen all year. Templeman on the misdirection. Comes to the left side. Has to get around the corner. Cannot do it. He'll get the 2 yards back that Cervantes lost. It'll be third down and 10 coming up as Adam Boucher comes up from a safety position to make the big hit, as does Brian Miller on Templeman to knock him down to set up the long third down play now for North Montgomery.
Good defense by Crawfordsville. Everybody stayed home that time and just made that play go as far to the outside as they could. And again, the Crawfordsville defense, at times they look really so bad, and then at times, like on the running plays that they've done just recently, they look excellent.
Calder.
No gain.
Check that. Cervantes wide to the right side, or check that. Calder wide to the right side on third down now, and about 10 or 11 to go. Slicker on the fake. Has some time. Throws it. We've got a flag down in the backfield. The pass is incomplete, intended for Gwynn, and let's see what the call is.
Looks like there's going to be a hold on number 50, Jason Brown, perhaps.
Whitehead had good coverage that time on Gwynn, and that is the indication that it'll be a holding call coming up against North Montgomery. And that presents a scenario, though, Tom. Do you let North have, another down, or do you say, well, let's make them decide what to do on fourth down and about 11?
That's a tough call because for Crawfordsville, you're probably in a lose-lose situation here. If you don't take it, it's going to be fourth down and in fourth down territory, and they don't take the penalty, but North's got the ball at the 35 of Crawfordsville, and they'll go for that one.
If you just joined us, there's 5:52 to go in the first half. Crawfordsville leads North Montgomery 14-8. The last score by the Athenians, an 89-yard touchdown pass from Cotton to J.D. Flynn, which gave them that lead. Right now it's fourth down and about 11, a long 11 to go for North Montgomery. Calder comes wide to the left side, single back set up behind B.J. Slicker. Slicker takes the snap, looks to throw, got a man cutting open across the middle, Sean Ratcliffe. What will be the call? Incomplete, as the ball popped out of Ratcliffe's control. Chris Cotton was there for good defensive coverage and probably applied a pretty good hit just as the ball got to Ratcliffe.
That was great defense by Crawfordsville. That time, just as the ball got to, I thought it was going to be a completion, but the ball juggled loose by Cotton. Just a great defensive play. As the Athenians have held and will take over the ball now with 5:46 left in the first half with the wind at their back, and they are 66 yards from pay dirt.
It'll be first down and 10 from about somewhere between the 34 and 35 yard lines, depending on how close you stat things, as Crawfordsville takes over I formation set up behind Cotton. Carry on it, and Whitehead. Here's some razzle-dazzle on a lateral. Cotton throwing deep. He's thrown it up for grabs, and Flynn got open and got the ball.
How did
two North Montgomery players, Tom, slipped and fell on the wet turf. That's exactly what happened, as Aaron Yerkes was looking to intercept the ball possibly, and then slipped and fell. And to J.D. Flynn's credit, he kept moving, moved to the ball after Cotton really threw it up for grabs and came up with the loose ball into North Montgomery territory. First down and 10 at the North 39.
J.D. Flynn has got such good instinct to go to the ball. He saw the ball was going to be underthrown. He stopped, came back, and the North defenders could not get stopped in time, and it's a 26-yard gain for Flynn and a first down.
5:20 and counting in the first half. Crawfordsville in North territory again. The handoff to Powell and the tackle to Templeman, as Templeman really came through and put a big middle linebacker stick on that, John.
That's right. Kevin Templeman on the blitz, came inside, got him in the backfield. Great big hit for North Montgomery.
North's been blitzing quite a bit, John. We've seen a lot of linebackers coming in as we've got an equipment timeout down on the field, but the Chargers still sending a lot of guys trying to stunt, but Cotton has been doing a nice job, and the Crawfordsville line's been doing a nice job picking up the extra men.
That's right, and one thing that's really hurt North Montgomery all season is their defensive backs. They always seem to slip and fall at the wrong time, and they're really not tackling very well either.
And Jeff, here in the first half, J.D. Flynn has caught 6 passes for 153 yards.
And
not a bad week's work.
And a touchdown. Courtney Whitehead has the other touchdown for Crawfordsville again as they lead 14-8. Crawfordsville has it. And a ball is loose on the snap. Cotton doesn't make the exchange with Jeff McGill cleanly, and Cotton has to fall back down on the ball. A loss of another yard or two will set up third down now and long. And Perk, you predicted that one for me.
And Jeff, when North shows blitz, when anybody shows blitz, Chris Cotton panics. He tries to get away from the center too quickly. He has done that so darn many times this year. And I don't know if the coaching staff can tell him not to do it. He just sees a blitz coming and tries to get away from the center too quickly, fumbles. Normally he recovers it, but it just kills it down.
Dan Sadowski brings the play in on 3rd and long. Cotton rolls out, keeps blockers in, throws it out on the flat, looking for Flynn. Will he be ruled out of bounds, or will he get the catch? A lot of North Montgomery players are clapping their hands. It looks like this one's going to be ruled out of bounds as Flynn tried to catch the ball, but John, I think his knees were out of bounds.
That's right, a good catch by J.D. Flynn, but like you said, his knees were just right on the line.
He would have been very close to the first down sticks had that pass completion been counted, but it doesn't. And the ball will be spotted just outside the 40-yard line of North Montgomery, where it will now be 4th down and about a dozen to go for Crawfordsville, and Courtney Whitehead will stand in his own territory at about his own 45 to kick it away. Yerkes and Gwynn are back deep. Here's the snap and the kick, aiming for the right coffin corner, and the ball will bounce out of bounds at about the 1-yard line. What a great kick by Courtney Whitehead. He got it to get into the turf and bounce back, and it goes out of bounds between the 1 and the 2.
Everybody's collecting breath on both sides. Were held that time. You didn't know if it was going to bounce straight or bounce to the right, 90 degrees out of bounds, and to the Athenians' advantage, it pops out of bounds at about the 1-yard line.
3:52 remain on the first half clock. Crawfordsville leads 14-8. North Montgomery starts with the ball at their own 1-yard line. Slicker brings his offense out. Makes no matter. He'll set up the run and shoot. 2 wide outs to the left, 2 wide outs to the right as he stands in his own end zone to take the snap. And does. On the handoff, gives it off to Templeman. Templeman will grind forward for a yard or 2, get out maybe close to the 4-yard line, where it'll give North a little running room. Big line surge by Crawfordsville. Jeremy Powell comes up from the linebacker position to make the tackle. But Brian Brown, Jason Brown, Brad LaFoon, the big senior, 2 seniors and a junior, right side of the north line, which is where they've usually gone if they need a big run, gives Templeman a little bit of space, and North has a little bit of space.
And Jeff Templeman, 56 yards in the first quarter on 5 carries. Now he's 58 yards on 8 carries, so he's gotten only 2 yards on 3 carries in the second quarter.
As Slicker again sends 4 wide outs, 2 to each side. Calls for the ball, gets it, throws it out deep. He's looking for Ratcliffe coming down the left side, but the pass was way too far. Adam Boucher's coverage was also pretty good, as Ratcliffe just was not able to get to the ball in time. Almost an identical play that went for about 40 yards. Another possession for North Montgomery, Tom, but this time Ratcliffe just did not get out of the blocks quickly enough because he was 4 or 5 yards away.
There was a little bumping going on there right at the line of scrimmage. I think that held Ratcliffe up just a little bit. The timing play, BJ dropped back through the ball. Ratcliffe just couldn't catch up with it. And this is a very, very big 3rd down play. 3rd
down and 8 coming up now for North Montgomery. We're under 3 minutes to play here in the first half. Slicker over center. I formation set up behind him. Calling signals, takes it, and goes off to the ground. Gives it to Cervantes. Cervantes is out to the 10-yard line. Spins out across the 10-yard line. Depending on the spot, the Chargers may have the first down. Cervantes really on good second effort, John. Spun around. He got slowed up at about the 5. Came out to the 10, spun through, and got the first down for North Montgomery.
That's right. Manny Cervantes doing a great job. Earlier in the season, he was fumble prone. He's holding on to the ball a lot better so far here in the second half of the season.
I'll tell you what, put a gold star right next to that. Put a star next to it. We'll talk about that later, especially if the Chargers go down and score. That was a great, great big first down.
And the Chargers, confident in their running game. That is normally a historic 3rd down passing situation. So it'll be 1st down and 10 now for North. The I formation set up behind Slicker. He'll put 1 wide out to the right side, make it 1 in the slot as well. Calling signals and calling timeout. No, check that. Did we get the
game?
We may have gotten a penalty too soon. Let's get the call.
One official threw the flag and the other one called timeout. The official who threw the flag will win that one.
And it'll march the ball back 5 yards. Back to about the 10.
But
actually back to about the 12.
Only the second penalty you have on the Chargers, so they've played relatively error-free, as has the Athenians, who have been whistled 3 times for 20 yards.
And I will apologize one more time because the scoreboard here at Crawfordsville is just opposite from the North scoreboard where the ball and the yards to go on, so I called the wrong one twice. The ball is on the 7.
Adapt.
I'm going to do that. I'll adapt you if you don't get out of the way. On 1st and 15, Slicker. Nice fake over the middle. Gwynn. The ball tipped and it's intercepted. intercepted at about the 15-yard line. Boucher has it. Adam Boucher on the INT. The tip ball thrown just behind Jason Gwynn is up in the air. Boucher comes up with it, returns it back to about the 11-yard line, where Crawfordsville will have it. First down and 10 with 2:14 to go here in the first half.
Again, we talked about just tipping the ball, Jeff. The ball was tipped. Boucher alert. That's Adam Boucher, very alertly picked it up. And the Athenians really have got a great chance here. This is where Crawfordsville has really struggled, though, inside the red zone. So if the Athenians ever needed a touchdown, it's right now. But this is, again, where they've struggled.
Crawfordsville leads 14-8 at the 2-minute mark of this first half of play. And they have the ball on North Montgomery's second turnover of the ball game. Cotton sets a pro formation up behind him, takes the snap, drops back, looks to throw, looking for man in the end zone. We've got a flag. Flynn couldn't get to it. Was he held up in the backfield? We'll have to wait for the call. The flag is thrown by the back judge. There'll have to be some kind of maybe defensive holding on this. Just wait for the guy in the white hat.
He's the good guy.
Interference is the call against North Montgomery. At a half the distance and a first down will be assessed against the Chargers. So it'll be first down now and goal, and the ball will be officially spotted at the 5-yard line.
Crawfordsville now with 9 first downs in the game, and North Montgomery with 9 first downs in the game.
1:46 to go in the first half. Crawfordsville deeper into the red zone now after the interception by Boucher and the pass interference call now against North's defense. 2 wide out to the right side, Sadowski and Flynn. Cotton pitches wide left to Whitehead. Breaks one tackle, is down inside the 5-yard line, and looks for the goal line, can't find it. Kevin Templeman comes up from middle linebacker to haul Whitehead down after a gain of a couple, but he's down inside the 5. We'll spot it at about the 3-yard line as the clock continues to run. 1.5 minutes to go here in this first half of play. Jason Griffith brings the play in for Crawfordsville. Looking to the sidelines as the play clock hits 15 and runs down. Both teams still have timeouts left to use here should they need to or want to. Splitting out wide right is Griffith. Flynn wide to the left side. I formation. Cotton on the fake. Hands off. Goes inside on his own. And we'll get back to about the line of scrimmage and down maybe to about the 1-yard line as we now go under 1 minute to play here in this fourth quarter. Mike Rusk and John Sparks in on the tackle for North Montgomery as the ball will be officially spotted at the 1. Sadowski brings the play in. You can hear the Crawfordsville fans seated here in front of us up on their feet as the clock continues to run. It is third down and goal. Flynn wide to the right side. In the slot goes Sadowski. Whitehead in motion. Cotton on the call. Looking for and getting the ball to Chad Carey for the touchdown. A 1-yard run with 24 seconds. Crawfordsville converts on the interception and takes it in. As looking at the numbers after a 2-touchdown game last week against Southmont, Chad Carey has his 4th touchdown of the season. And Crawfordsville will go for 2. Cotton over center. Takes the snap on the fake. Throws it out to Whitehead into the end zone for 2. So for the second time tonight, Crawfordsville has passed to Courtney Whitehead for the 2-point conversion. And we'll be back with Crawfordsville's kickoff right after this. 25 seconds remaining in the first half. The score, Crawfordsville 22, North Montgomery 14.
North Montgomery Charger football.
To Westing.
It is certainly that, Jeff, as the 11-yard, 3-play scoring drive is culminated by Chad Carey going in from 1 yard out at the 24.9-second mark. Whitehead again with the 2-point conversion, and it is 22-8 Crawfordsville, and certainly there's a lot of time to go, and if I had anybody I'd want to bring me back, and it could bring me back, it would be B.J. Slicker. So not to get real worried worried as a North fan yet, not to get over-elated as a Crawfordsville fan yet. Lots of time left here in this ballgame.
Whitehead will put a toe into it at the 40-yard line, again with a wind that has been gusting up to 30 miles an hour at his back. We have only 25 seconds to go in this first half, but with good field position, Slicker does have 2 timeouts.
But let's also say that Charlie will probably give it a spirited halftime chat.
A short kick here on the play will go out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Look for North Montgomery to take the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 35, not take any time off the clock, Tom, and put the offense to work to see what they can do.
If you're Crawfordsville now, you got to play a bunch of center fielders because B.J. Slicker can certainly throw the long ball. Crawfordsville has been victimized by the long pass as we turn back the hands of time to Lebanon, beaten on a Hail Mary on the last play of the game. They certainly don't want deja vu here.
Sean Ratcliffe and Clint Calder.
They're going to make him kick it again.
They are going to make him.
Surprising.
That is a very surprising strategy here.
Look at that wind blowing straight at Whitehead's back.
So the ball will be moved back to the 35-yard line. Only about the 4th penalty of the ball game against the Athenians.
Yep, 4th for 25 yards.
It has not been a highly penalized ball game, although there was a real tough. It was an important pass interference call on North on Crawfordsville's last drive that got them down a little bit closer to that last touchdown.
Only ended up being a 6-yard penalty, but brother, that was a very big one as it moved Crawfordsville right inside
and gave them a first down.
And gave them a first down.
So Whitehead will re-kick from the 35-yard line. Approach the ball, and again, put a little pooch into it. It'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line by one of the upbacks. We'll get a number on this. Going to be Tim Flagg. Flagg will bring the ball out across the 35-yard line to about the 37 or maybe the 38. So about 7 seconds run off the clock, and North Montgomery picks up a grand total of 3 yards.
Yeah, I think they probably should have. They had it to do over again. They would probably have taken it at the 35. But again, Charlie must have thought his guys could have really gotten the ball back up to midfield or further, because Charlie usually does the right thing.
Roll the dice and go with it. So now with 2 timeouts to go, Slicker stands over center, going from his own 38-yard line. He'll keep Templeman behind him. This is the standard formation we've seen most of the time. As the clock runs down, as we should have noted, the clock did start. Slicker will roll out to his right. He'll roll off into the sidelines on the right side. He'll be rolled out of bounds at about the 46-yard line for a gain of about 8. So we'll give B.J. 8 on that carry, and the clock will run down to 0, and that'll end our first half of play. Crawfordsville, with an inspired first half effort, leads North Montgomery.
And they won 1-0 over Indy Baptist. Puts Crawfordsville at 4-1-2 on the season.
All right, and let's get into, what's our last score from Southmont?
We still have the halftime score. Western Boone leading Southmont 18-8.
All right, and then anything else on your list here?
Lots of things, Jeff. Let's review our sports coverage tomorrow afternoon. On Saturday, we take IU versus Illinois. The kickoff at 12:10 on WIMC FM. On the AM, Wabash at Illinois Benedictine. That's at 1:30. And also on the AM later on in the early evening, 5:20, Purdue takes on Minnesota. And don't forget that after tonight's game on both our stations, stay tuned for Indiana Sports Talk.
All right, thanks much, John O. Again, great job doing all the production work, and tune in also tomorrow morning at 8:05 for our Sunshine Cafe Coaches Show. We'll have halftime. Also, Tom, very quickly, the folks here at Senior Night honored the Crawfordsville baseball team. All the guys on the team got an awfully nice-looking plaque, it looked like, down there. So they get the total hardware off after an obviously a very successful, hugely successful season last year.
30-3 for the Athenians with the untimely loss to Portage in the semi-state, opening round of the semi-state, but another great season for the Athenian baseball team. And they did get some nice hardware. That'll be some something some mothers will have to dust some more of. You know how that hardware goes.
This one means a lot more than a softball trophy, though.
Best thing ever was starting to give gifts and gift certificates and things like that.
And cash.
And cash, yeah.
Good point. North Montgomery will start the second half with the football as somebody throws something up from the peanut gallery back over there. I don't know. The professor spouts. But,
waxing poetic.
Waxing, yeah. That's well, never mind.
Yeah,
Crawfordsville will kick off, leading 22-8 here to start this second half of play. Again, playoff action coming up in a couple of weeks. Crawfordsville draws the draws a tough duty. You got to go to West Vigo. And North Montgomery starts off at home against Delphi. As we start the second half, Nick Johnson flags a short kick by White Cotton at about his own 35-yard line, moves a couple yards down the field, and then Mike Inskeep comes up to put him down for the final tackle. So North Montgomery will have the ball decent field position, and Tom, they will have the wind in the third quarter.
And it's very important for North Montgomery to do something with the opening drive of the third quarter. They've got the wind. They got the situation right where they want it. PJ with the wind at his back and good field position.
And they'll have it on first down. We'll see if they do anything different offensively. We saw a lot of Cervantes in motion in the first half, which we had not seen much of in the earlier course of the ball game or the season. This time now Templeman goes in motion on first down. Slicker on the throw. Throws it out to Templeman. Got a little room to the 40, 45, midfield into Crawfordsville territory on the screen pass. The swing out to Kevin Templeman. He hauls in only his 8th catch of the season. Josh Truax had to come up from behind to haul him down, but not before North Montgomery picks up about 15 yards on that pass and run combination. Adam Boucher also went on the tackle, and John, certainly a new look offensively. We have not seen Kevin Templeman out on the flat very much.
That's right, and he started the first quarter with some nice runs, got North Montgomery down, and they scored quickly in the first quarter.
It's now first down for North as they get into Crawfordsville territory in one play of this third quarter. Double wideouts to each side on the misdirection. Here's Cervantes tripped up on a nice play just as he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Looking at the number, it's Jeremy Powell on one tackle, and Cervantes will be hauled down, as we noted, after a gain of a very generous spot of a yard if he gets that. Also, I believe I saw in on the stop for Crawfordsville, I think Jamie Moore had one hand in on that as well. It'll be second down coming up now for North Montgomery, operating in Crawfordsville territory. Second down, we'll call it. 2 wideouts, 1 deep, 1 in the slot. Here comes Cervantes to the near side in motion. Slicker takes the snap, rolls out, has some time, has some more time, throws the ball, it's intercepted at the 35-yard line. The return is Adam Boucher. He's got his second interception of the ball game. It is also his 3rd interception of the season, throwing the ball right into his gut. And we're going to correct it. It was 22 Brian Miller, not 25 Boucher, out on the left flat. So a big return for Miller gives Crawfordsville a big shot of adrenaline, a big shot of momentum, and the ball first down and 10 at the North 45-yard line. Cotton puts Whitehead in motion to the far side. 2 wides on that side on the handoff. First back through. This is Chad Carey. Good line surge by Crawfordsville's Truax, Eskew, McGill, Bannon, and Steve Harris will push the line forward for about 4 yards or so. Carey will get a couple, as we noted. Jason Brown and Kevin Templeman on the hit for North Montgomery.
And Jeff, the more turnovers Crawfordsville generates, the more confidence they're going to get. That time the line just pushed forward, surged, and Carey only picked up 3 yards, but again, they really did push the North defense back, and North is really going to have to straighten up right now, because you can see their confidence start to move away.
Well, and the other big thing is that Crawfordsville starts playing above that level. They start playing with that big emotional level. Here's a wide pitch. This is Whitehead. He's got some room. He's to the 40. Needs a block. Doesn't get it. Gets inside the 40 down to about the 37-yard line. He's hauled down by Kevin Templeman and also by Cervantes. So Whitehead stretches out a couple yards, gets a pickup of about 5, maybe 6. It'll be third down and a yard and a half or so to go for Crawfordsville as they again operate in North territory. I believe on every possession today they have gotten inside the Chargers 50-yard line.
But give North defense credit that time for reacting to that play, because it was just a quick pitch outside, a good pitch by Cotton, and Whitehead had a lot of room on the outside, but the North defenders got there very quickly. It was a 6-yard gain and brings up 3rd and 1, but it's good defense by North.
Griffith goes out into the slot on the right side. Whitehead goes in motion. Flynn wide to the right on 3rd down and short. Here's Carey on the call. He will get the first down. He'll cross the 35-yard line. He'll be brought down by free safety Jason Gwynn and also by Jason Brown from an outside linebacker position, but not before the big sophomore bowls his way across for about a 4-yard pickup and another Crawfordsville first down.
And what you're doing right now, Jeff, you're picking up first downs on the ground and you're getting that clock going down.
8 40, and the clock moves. The Athenians again holding a 2-touchdown lead over the number 1 or number 2 ranked team in the state. On first down, here's a quick pitch. Whitehead will be wrapped up immediately as he tries to go around the right side. Coming up off the stack is Templeman. Also there, Jason Brown is there. It'll be a short gain at best, and it'll be second down and long coming up now for the Athenians as Griffith brings the play in. Sadowski comes out. Again, the big play has been the turnover play. North Montgomery has put it on the ground once and lost it, and thrown two interceptions for a total of 3. Crawfordsville has not given it up. Second down and 10 call coming up here for Chris Cotton. On the long pitch, here is Whitehead. Gets around the corner, gets inside the 30, gets down to about the 28-yard line. Tim Flagg, playing middle linebacker now for North, comes up and hauls him down. Tom, we noted at halftime that Chris Cotton has not been picked in a couple of ball games now.
He was 12 out of 15 last week against Southmont, and tonight he is 9 out of 16 in the first half with no picks. Certainly there's a long way to go, but Chris Cotton he's got some favorable results with a couple of passes tonight we've seen that were kind of floaters that Flynn got under, but he's had pretty good luck the last couple of weeks, but he's throwing the ball with a lot more crispness than he was.
When you got a J.D. Flynn to catch the ball, it also makes up for a lot of mistakes. On the pass play here, on the flare out, this is J.D. Flynn as B.J. Slicker again going for the interception. Got in front of it but couldn't get his hands on it. Flynn will be hauled down at about the 25-yard line. It'll be short of the first down, and we've got a North Montgomery player down. Just inside the 30, just have to wait and see. We've got 6:53 to go here in this third quarter. North Montgomery on defense, trailing Crawfordsville 22-8. And while we have this medical timeout, injury timeout, let's take a break ourselves from Crawfordsville High School. We'll be back into more or less under his own power. He's got an arm over one of the trainers. John O.
You know, our music theme fits in well with football. It's a better mix of hits. I know, that's a groaner. I'm sorry.
Go back.
You're stretching it.
John, you got 2 telephones over there. I hear one of them ringing. As Brown goes off the field, one of the major linebacker numbers for North Montgomery. So he'll probably have to be replaced over on that side by moving Slicker over and Josh Rivers coming back in.
Yeah, he's sitting down over on the bench right now. He's
not feeling well.
Quite a hit. He's pretty groggy right now.
Fourth down and a very long one to go here for Crawfordsville.
But Crawfordsville with the ball at the 25-yard line. They've got to go for this.
And they shall. They'll send Flynn wide to the right side. In the slot on the right is Griffith. I offset formation now. Whitehead goes in motion. Cotton gives it to Carey. Carey stood up at the line of scrimmage. Will not get first down yardage. A big hit by Flagg and others for North. Flagg and then was helped out by Gwynn. So, but Tim Flagg came up with a big hit to stop Carey, and then there's certainly a big play defensively for the Chargers.
That's right. They needed a big play to get them started here, and now maybe you'll start jump-starting the offense a little bit.
Slicker will move from linebacker to quarterback as the Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line, holding on down.
Really can't stress what a big defensive play that was from North. If Crawfordsville gets a first down, more than likely they would have taken it in to score with the momentum they had. That's just an enormous stop for North, and B.J. Slicker still with only about 6 minutes of wind at his back, so he's going to have to get something going.
He'll send 2 wideouts to the right side, Calder and Ratcliffe, and move Gwynn out of the tight end spot on the left. I formation set up behind the senior signal caller. Hands off on first down. Cervantes has some room. Breaks one tackle. Now fakes it. Pulls it back. Here's a throw. Out on the flat. Out on the left side. We've got a flag down as Clint Calder was the intended receiver. Guarded by Craig Boyd. I had that one pegged all the way. Coming down this side. Great fake by BJ as the pass intended out on the flat falls away. Let's check out these flags.
Yeah, it's got to be pass interference. That's a really tough call.
And it's going to go against...
Really tough call.
Going to go against Crawfordsville here, and it'll give North Montgomery a first down. Should be a 15-yard mark-off here from the 25 out to the 40, and North will have a first down by way of penalty. Again, if you just joined us, Crawfordsville has really played exceptionally well here after North Montgomery scored the first touchdown of the ball game. The Athenians lead 22-8 over the undefeated and #1 ranked team in the state of Indiana in Class 2A. But the Chargers have the ball with their potent offense on the field. Slicker sets up, pro formation set up. Now he goes into the spread, calls for the ball. Takes it, has some time, throws it out here on this side. This is going to be Calder. Calder spins, turns around, gets out across the 40 to about the 45-yard line. It'll be a pickup of about 5 yards on that pass play as the tackle for Crawfordsville will give it to Kyle Kadinger, coming out from a line position to help cover on that, and it'll set up a 2nd down and 5 call now with the ball on the North Montgomery 45.
Crawfordsville doesn't mind that call right there. They only pick up 5 yards. The clock keeps moving. They'll take that anytime.
5.5 minutes to go here in this third quarter play. Slicker working out of the shotgun. Templeman in behind him. Linemen go down. Slicker calls for the ball. Has it and runs straight ahead. Now rolls to his left. And Crawfordsville does a nice job of reading that play as Jeff McGill holds on from a defensive end position and brings Slicker down after a gain of only 1 or 2. Obviously, BJ saw something that was not there. It was well disguised, Tom, because he had no intention of doing anything other than taking off with the ball. And over the course of the seasons, we have seen him turn that kind of a play into a big gainer.
It really did look like kind of a badly executed quarterback draw. He just really didn't execute it very well. Only picks up 1 yard. Third down play for the Chargers.
3rd and 4. Coming wide to the right side is Calder. Slicker again keeping Templeman in to guard for the blitz. Working out of the spread. Takes the snap. Pitches out. Here's Templeman. 45-50. Has the 1st down into Crawfordsville territory and is wrestled out of bounds at about the 47-yard line of Crawfordsville. On the tackle, Jamie Moore, who helped string the play out, but not before Templeman picked up about 8 yards and a North Montgomery 1st down. In addition, he went out of bounds and stopped the clock with 4.5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Once again, our score: Crawfordsville leading North Montgomery here at the Chargers at the Athenians complex, 22-8.
That's the longest run that Templeman's had since late in the first quarter. He's now rushed for 66 yards on 9 attempts.
On 1st down, same formation, 3 straight plays. Slicker working out of the spread. Takes the ball, drops back, has some time, pump fakes, throws it out over the middle, looking for John Sparks, playing out of the tight end position, backup tight end position, but the pass is well over Sparks' head, and Sparks, standing at 6'3", had some territory to give. Adam Boucher on coverage, but just simply a bad pass that time, Tom, as Sparks couldn't have jumped high enough on a bet.
It looks like BJ's been just a little bit off tonight, not a lot, but he's overthrowing some receivers. But he is so dangerous when he's up underneath the center. Anything can happen.
2nd down and 10 coming up. 2 wideouts on each side for North Montgomery. Slicker over center now. Takes the ball, drops back, throws it. Ball is tipped up by Gwynn and is nearly intercepted by Cotton, and it's going to be ruled incomplete. Cotton had the ball evidently on the ground, and once again, John, another tip ball as North Montgomery really having trouble hanging on to passes tonight.
That's right. North Montgomery, they'll go up for the catch, go off the top of their fingertips. They've had a lot of drop balls tonight.
And very uncharacteristic B.J. Slicker night. He's 6 out of 18 for 129 yards with 2 interceptions.
And 3rd down and 10 now coming up for the Chargers. Wide to the left side goes Ratcliffe. In the slot on the left side is Cervantes. A couple guys to the right. And Slicker needs 10 to keep the drive alive. Over center, 3-step drop, and the pass is batted down by the line. I believe it was Kyle Kadinger who got a hand up. He appeared to be one of the happiest guys. If it wasn't him, it was Josh Truax. Both guys coming in from the defensive tackle positions and knocks the ball down to set up 4th and 10.
At about 6'4", Kyle Kadinger, maybe the only guy that could have blocked that pass. But the Chargers now very dangerously.
They're going to kick the ball away. Slicker stands at his own 42-yard line.
Pretty good time for a fake.
Yeah, it might.
Dare I say?
Well, dare. As Crawfordsville is not even going to put anybody back deep, but BJ will kick the ball away. Get it off the right side of his foot. It's going to go out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. We'll get a spot on it from the guys in the striped shirts. It's going to be out of bounds at the 19-yard line, and Crawfordsville will take over from that point. 4:09 to go in the third quarter, 22-8. Crawfordsville with the lead, and we're back in 30 seconds.
Moffett Small Engines would like to invite you to their 7th annual Sawdust Days, October 7th through the 21st. Buy 1 steel chain and get the second for half price. 1 gallon of steel bar oil is only $4, and the full line of steel chainsaws, including the new model 017, is sale priced at $199.95, plus leaf blowers at $59.95. And of course, free donuts and cider on each Saturday. Moffitt Small Engines in Waynetown, your steel dealer in Montgomery County. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 8 a.m. till 5 p.m.
On first down, Courtney Whitehead takes the handoff from Chris Cotton. And Jason Brown back in the ball game. John, good sign for North is in on the tackle.
That's right. He's played a pretty good ball game at the linebacker position, tipped a couple of balls, and really putting some pressure on Crawfordsville.
And especially since he was helped off after being injured on the last series of plays. So he's back in, so obviously a good medical report from the North sidelines from him as Whitehead will pick up, we'll call it 6, make it second down and 4. Cotton sets the pro formation up, 2 behind him, and hands off on a quick pitch off to Whitehead, and he is hauled down after practically no gain. In on the tackle is Jack Whitecotton, who spun around from the defensive end position, actually got blocked right into the play flow that time, and Whitehead will lose a yard based on the spot back to the 24-yard line. So now Crawfordsville faces a third down call, Tom.
And you know one thing Crawfordsville's doing, they're trying to be conservative and take time off the clock, but you don't want to get out of your game plan. They've been very successful throwing the ball, and right now they're just staying on the ground, and it's not really yielding very many yards.
The clock keeps running. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter and moving. Flynn wide to the right side. In the slot on the right goes Griffith. Whitehead now goes in motion on the flood. Cotton on the lateral. That's ruled a lateral, so this is going to be a rushing play. Goes out to Courtney Whitehead. Whitehead then just gets around the right side and gets the first down. Aaron Yerkes hauls him down, but not before Whitehead picks up about 10 yards on that lateral. So Crawfordsville now playing with a little bit more confidence every set of downs, Tom. Now using a little bit more dangerous play calling there, but the lateral works. Whitehead gets the first down.
11 first downs now for Crawfordsville. 5 rushing, 5 passing. They're mixing it up very well. 1 by penalty, mixing it up very well.
Ball spotted on the 36-yard line. It'll be first down and 10. And man, we've got people jumping all over the place. So we'll deaden this thing here and march 5 yards off against Crawfordsville. That'll move the ball back to their own 31-yard line, where they will have a first down and 15 call now coming up. Just want to remind again everybody that we've got lots of football action on tomorrow. Tomorrow morning at the Coaches Show, we've got chats with all of our coaches at 8:05 to 9 o'clock. And then at 12:30, IU is on the FM. Then at 1:30, Wabash is on the AM. And then after the Wabash game at about 5:20 on WCVL, we will have Purdue at Minnesota. So, and also want to remind everybody to stay tuned tonight after we sign off this broadcast for Indiana Sports Talk. All kinds of football scores from around the state of Indiana. First and 15 for the Athenians. On the pitch, here's Whitehead. Big old power sweep. He's got a block. He's got a second block. He's across the 35-yard line. He'll be brought down near the 38-yard line by Kevin Templeman. But Whitehead will pick up, Tom, about 7 or 8 of those yards. And it'll set up a third. Check that second down call now as the ball spotted at the 38.
That's a great call on that situation. Second and 15. Don't try to get it all back at once. You get about 7 yards of it back. Brings out a second and 8. And the Athenians now can either run or pass. And North is really, they don't know what Crawfordsville will do on this one.
And Crawfordsville's front line has been doing a real good job on the line surge. On the second down call, Whitehead goes the other side. Tries the blocking behind Bannon and Harris. He'll pick up a couple of yards out to about the 40-yard line, where it'll be third down. Tim Flagg from the middle linebacker position makes the tackle for North Montgomery, but we roll the clock down. 1:19 and counting in the third quarter. Again, our score here at Crawfordsville High School. It is the Athenians 22, North Montgomery 8. North scored the first touchdown of the ball game, and Crawfordsville has answered with 3 straight. All of our scoring coming in the first half.
And Crawfordsville would certainly like to get another first down, not only to keep the drive going, but to get the wind at their back in case they do run out of space and have to kick it.
3rd and 5. Here's the quick pitch to Whitehead. Tries to string the blockers out in front of him. Can't get it done. And he'll pick up only a yard or 2, and it'll set up a 4th down play. Coming up off the bottom of the stack is Mike Gerald. As the clock runs down, wait and see when they start the play clock. We've got 40 seconds. And now they put the play clock in motion, which means that Crawfordsville will have to kick the ball against the wind.
Courtney got a pretty good spot on that, really. He's only about a yard and a half shy of a first down, but you can bet he'll be booting this one away.
As he'll let the clock run down as far as he can towards the end of the third quarter clock. Aaron Yerkes and Jason Gwynn are both back deep for North Montgomery. They stand at their own 30. Clean snap. North looks to try and put some pressure on Whitehead. He kicks the ball out of bounds. Wait and see where the spot is at. It goes out at let's go guys, back up field, back up field at the 32-yard line. So with 9 seconds to go in the third quarter, North Montgomery, John, will have one play with the win.
That's right, and look for him to try to go deep, one play, possibly Sean Ratcliffe or Clint Calder.
Sets up the offense, does B.J. Slicker. The same formation we've seen just about every call all night. 2 wide out to the left side, basically a run-and-shoot type offense. Except he's got a back behind him. Slicker, back to throw, pump fake, throwing deep, just as John said, looking for Calder, and he way overthrows him by about 7 or 8 yards. Cotton in on the coverage, the principal guy back deep for Crawfordsville, and that will, though, stop the clock with 3.2 seconds left on the clock, and now North can take the option. Do they want to try and throw the ball with the wind one more time?
But it sure seemed like it took a lot longer than that for some reason. BJ again, one more fling at it with the wind at his back.
Same formation as before. Wide and the split on the right side is Gwynn. Slicker over center. Calls for it. Drops back 3 steps. Throws it out over the middle. This man is open as Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe will get out to about the 40-yard line, and he's going to be hauled down as the third quarter ends. It'll be third down and about 3 coming up for North Montgomery, but even bigger, 12 minutes away from their first loss of the season. Crawfordsville leads 22-8 as we head to the fourth quarter. You're listening to high school football on WCVL and WIMC. Be with us for the first playoff game.
I will not be in attendance for the first playoff game, which will have Southmont.
That's very possible. We do want to remind everybody, too, that we do not have an update from Southmont for a while, but we will have the Mounties on the air next Friday night as they conclude their regular season at Lebanon in a big Sagamore Conference matchup. I want to talk to your boss. That's all I can say. It's third down and about 3 to go for North Montgomery now as they face the wind for the last 12 minutes. On the third down call, here's Cervantes bouncing off a couple of tacklers, breaks one, gets across the 45 out to about the 46. He'll have the first down, and North will live to fight another set of downs. Tom, we'll look at a couple of third quarter stats.
Athenians ran 13 offensive plays, 59 yards. The Chargers 11 offensive plays, only 34 yards.
The ball statistically on the 47-yard line. North Montgomery will have it first down and 10. Gwynn comes off. The play comes in. Splitting wide to the left side for North. Clint Calder. Also wide left side is Ratcliffe on this near hash mark side of the field. I formation is set up behind Slicker on first down. Slicker over center. Looks the defense over. Calls a play, takes the ball, fakes the handoff, throws it out over the middle, looking for Clint Calder. Calder was not even looking at the ball. John, I don't understand this, that this is not the passing offense we have seen for North going 6-0 this season.
North Montgomery's really not running their pass patterns real crisp. We just saw Clint Calder not even look for the ball. Usually he's running down the field looking for BJ to throw him the ball. This time he had his back turned toward or going towards the touchdown.
And it'll be second down now and 10 coming up. North again with the ball. Clock stop. We're just underway here in the fourth quarter. Crawfordsville leads North 22-8. Slicker over center. Wide pitch goes out. Cervantes works the right side. Gets around the corner but can't get any farther than that. Crawfordsville players are saying it's their ball, but the ball is going to be down. Whitehead on the big hit for Crawfordsville's defense, and Tom, North Montgomery looks now at a third down and long.
It's a very important play. We talked about B.J. Slicker throwing in the wind here in the fourth quarter. I think that maybe that wind may be a little overstated. It is strong, but B.J. Slicker's got such a strong arm. I don't think that's that big of a factor.
No, and it has at least quit raining. That we did have a little rain before the ball game started. It hasn't rained since. Third down, we'll call it about 8. Ball at the 49-yard line of North Montgomery. Slicker over center, drops back to throw, has some time, passes out on the flat, looking for Cervantes, and the ball goes right between his hands. The pass was high, and I don't know if Manny would have been able to pull it down anyway, and Johnny, he'd have been well short of a first down nonetheless.
That's right. North Montgomery needs to start going down the field instead of lateral to the field.
And it'll be fourth down now and long. Right after this kick, we'll get John Owen. I bet you we got an update from South. As soon as I say we don't get one, somebody down there fires up a cell phone for us. Also want to thank Cellular One for providing us with some cellular phone service here tonight. Slicker back in punt formation. He isn't going to kick. He's going to throw it. He's got a man open. This is Ratcliffe, and on the fourth down fake, it will be Ratcliffe for the first down to the 35-yard line of Crawfordsville. So North rolls the dice. They come up with a big play and a first down. John.
Sagamore Conference scoring update. Western Boone still controlling Southmont at the end of the third quarter. It's 24-14.
All right, thank you much, John O. We'll keep up with that one as we have just gotten into the fourth quarter here. Again, Crawfordsville leads North Montgomery 22-8. The Chargers have it now and are driving on a fourth down conversion. Slicker with a fresh set of downs. Drops back to throw. Pump fake. Throws it. He's got a man open. Ratcliffe. Touchdown. We've got a flag down at the line of scrimmage.
Looks like that's going to come back.
Let's check on this call. Here's the call. Holding North Montgomery.
That is a big, big penalty right there, Jeff.
35 yards and a touchdown to Ratcliffe. It's all coming back, and add 10 to it.
You lose 6 points, and you add insult to injury by throwing 10 yards and putting yourself back about midfield, about the 45. That was just for as far as B.J. Slicker has been off tonight. That pass was right on the button. That was just a great play. And Crawfordsville's pass defense right now is really looking kind of like they're playing scared. They've been burned so many times late in the game, and it looks like they're worried about it right now, but they really do get a break on that.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul makes it a 14-yard mark-off against North Montgomery. It'll be first down and 24 now for the Chargers. They are just inside the midfield stripe. So they will have it now with Slicker over center and a one-back formation set up behind him. They do run it with 3 wideouts to the right side. Slicker back to throw. Stands in the pocket. Throws it out to Gwynn. Gwynn's got some room. He's also got some yardage. He's down inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. Whitehead on the tackle as Crawfordsville playing a little looser defensively on the pass, and Gwynn picks up most of the penalty yardage.
Well, you don't want to. You want to play a little bit soft, but you really don't want to let North get to the point where they know they can pick up 10 or 12 yards, because they'll move it right down on the field on you.
9:50 and counting now on the fourth quarter clock. Slicker moves back into the shotgun formation and calls for the ball on second down and about 11.5 yards to go. Slicker with time to throw. Throws it out. It's intercepted at the 20-yard line. On the pick, this is Brian Miller. He's got some room on the return to the 40, out near the 45-yard line. Brian Miller with his second interception of the night. The third Crawfordsville interception of the ball game. Templeman on the tackle, but stick a great big stake in the heart of North Montgomery's offense right there, Tom, as Crawfordsville comes up with their third interception, the fourth North Montgomery turnover of the ball game. Crawfordsville with a 22-8 lead, 9.5 minutes to go in the contest, and they have the ball.
4 big turnovers. That really sums it up, Jeff. 4 turnovers for North, none for Crawfordsville, and as we said, Crawfordsville doesn't turn the ball over often, and that's really been to their advantage tonight.
Been the whole story of this ball game. On first down, Cotton wide pitch off to Whitehead. Whitehead gets around the left corner, crosses the 45, gets out to about the 49-yard line, where it will be second down and about 5 to go. Mike Gerald's on the tackle for North.
Courtney Whitehead now 72 yards on 16 carries and a touchdown tonight, so he's been very effective. Last week, Chad Carey, big night. He's been held to 17 yards on 9 carries, so a different star for Crawfordsville each of the last 2 weeks. And you can bet that the Athenians will keep this puppy on the ground primarily.
Second down, we'll actually call it about 6 to go. The short spot of the ball is just shy of midfield. Whitehead comes in motion to the near side. This is Carey. Carey bounces off the left side of his line, bounces across the 50-yard line, and will be brought down after a gain of a couple yards, where it'll now be third down for Crawfordsville and about 4 to go. Jason Brown on the hit for North. But again, you just can't sum it up enough. The scoring has all come in the first half. North Montgomery scored the first 8 points of the game, and that is their last 8 points thus far, as Crawfordsville has turned turnovers into either points or into shattered momentum and lead by 14.
Turnover's been the name of the game tonight. Crawfordsville would like nothing better than a scoreless second half.
Good point. Whitehead comes in motion on third down and fairly long. Here's a swing pass out to Whitehead. He stumbles and falls as he catches the ball, and that'll be the end of the drive. He'll pick up about a yard at the most. Yerkes is there just to make sure that he wasn't going going any place and did not. And it'll set up 4th down now, and Crawfordsville will kick the ball away. The last time that Whitehead was at about his own 40-yard line and kicked the ball away, Tommy pooched it down to the 1-yard line.
Crawfordsville would certainly have liked to have taken up a little more time. They've only taken 2 minutes with that 3 plays, and Whitehead now will have the chance with the wind at his back to pin North deep in its own territory again.
Yerkes and Gwynn are back deep for North as Whitehead looks for the ball, standing at his own 39. High snap, but a clean snap. He gets the kick away.
Shanked it.
And really shanked it right into the middle of the Crawfordsville cheerleaders over here on the track down here in front of us to the right. Let's do this. 7:05 to go in the 4th quarter. North will get the ball back in a minute or so. Let's take a 30-second timeout where our score is North 8 and Crawfordsville 22.
North Montgomery Charger football is brought to you in part by Kiger Incorporated, your Lennox heating and air conditioning specialist. When it comes to quality heating and air conditioning, remember what Bob Kiger says, it must be a Lennox. Linden Food Plaza, coming soon to Linden, offering Phillips 66 gasoline, Chester fried chicken, hot stuffed pizza, and smash hit subs. Watch for the Linden Food Plaza. And Miller Body and Chassis, since 1979, providing quality auto body collision repair. It's worth the drive to Miller Body, 107 East Washington in Waynetown. Remember, these high school football broadcasts are made possible by sponsoring businesses. Be sure you stop by and tell them you appreciate their support.
On 1st down, a swing pass out to Templeman, bounces off of his pads and goes incomplete. It'll be 2nd down, and John O's got a couple scores.
Sycamore Conference West Side 14, Frankfort 14 at the half.
Wow.
Another area score, McCutcheon over Twin Lakes 17-7 at the half. And here's a rather interesting score we thought we'd pass along. Mishawaka Marion is playing Lafayette Central Catholic. At the half, the score is 3-2.
Craig Maddox must be pitching.
Or is it the 5th inning?
You never know.
3-2. What do you know?
What do you know? On
They're
second,
asking for their money back on that one.
they probably paid $2 to get in. They probably won't get it. On 2nd and 10, North, I formation set up behind Slicker. He'll hand off, second back through. This is Cervantes. Cervantes will cross the 40, get out to the 42, maybe the 43-yard line. The tackle by Whitehead and others. But John, 3-4 yards at a time, is soon going to run out of, soon going to not be any good for North Montgomery as the clock runs down under the 7-minute mark.
That's right. North Montgomery's going to have to start throwing the ball. Crawfordsville's defense starting to play back a little bit. You know, go ahead and start picking up some of those 5-6 yard passing plays. You know, run them towards the out of bounds.
See how it goes. 3rd down. We've got an official's timeout here.
Equipment timeout.
Looks like we had may have had a broken helmet or a chin strap as Adam Boucher has come off the field.
Yeah, for sure Crawfordsville would love to see nothing more than North run a couple of rushing plays here. And that's taken a good half a minute to crack.
Yep, and Boucher has given his helmet off to Amos Jernigan, who is busily working on it here down in front of us. So Boucher is out. Slicker back to throw on 3rd down. Has a little time. Got a man open. Here's the completion. It's to Calder, and he's hit just as he catches the ball, but not before he picks up the 1st down in Crawfordsville territory. The ball will be down to the 42-yard line. It'll be a pickup above about 16 yards. Jeremy Powell on the completion, and now Clint Calder, after the tough hit, he walks back towards the sidelines and can't make it, and he goes down on his hands and knees.
He took a pretty good lick. He paid the penalty for a 16-yard game. He's a tough kid. He'll be back up in a second.
Probably just got right in the ribs or right about where it makes it real hard to breathe at about that point. Just a quick review again. Those 2 ball games, just shy of 2,500 yards of total offense in 2 years.
I remember the years that Barry Switzer was at Oklahoma, they used to say the highest scoring team in Oklahoma sports was their football team.
Yeah.
Outscored their basketball team.
In most cases. Crawfordsville back on D. North Montgomery has it. 1st down and 10 in Crawfordsville territory. Sparks wide to the left side. A new setup for him as BJ back to throw. Hit just as he releases the ball, throws it down, looking for Ratcliffe. The ball tipped away, double coverage. Cotton and Boyd back on deep center field coverage for Crawfordsville. Nearly picked off pass number 4.
Well, that's where Sean Ratcliffe, for all practical purposes, became a defensive back.
Knocked it away.
To keep the ball from being intercepted as BJ overthrew the ball again. He is now 10 out of 29 for 181 yards and 3 picks.
2 interceptions in 6 games coming into tonight. 3 interceptions and very nearly a 4th right there. 2nd down and 10 now for the Chargers. Slicker works out of the spread formation. Now he'll send Gwynn from the tight end spot out into the slot on the right side. Sending Cervantes in motion now to the flood right side. We've got a flag down. Slicker back to throw. Got the pass intended out here on the flat, looking for Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe can't get it on his, he can't get the ball into his fingertips. Let's check out this flag. An illegal shift is the call against North Montgomery. So now what we'll probably have is Crawfordsville deciding whether or not they want to look at 3rd and 10 or 2nd and 15.
Oh, I think at this point, BJ has been off mark just a little bit. I think you let the play stand.
See what the call is coming up.
Not that much more difficult for BJ to pick up 15. Oh, he got one right.
Yes, he did.
Oh, yes.
Perk picks up the call on that, the incompletion. As the wind again really picks up here, Tom, looking at the flag down on the far end zone, really standing on end.
And again, BJ's got such a good arm, he's going to be okay on that short step. The long pass may be the problem.
3rd and 10 coming up for Slicker and the Chargers. Clock stop, 5:54 to go in the 4th quarter. Slicker drops back to throw. Has the pass intercepted at the 25-yard line. Chris Cotton has his 2nd pick in 2 weeks. And the pass went right to him. 4 interceptions, 5 turnovers for North Montgomery in this ball game tonight.
And now BJ Slicker 10 for 31. He's picked up 181 yards, but 4 big interceptions, 5 turnovers at all for North, none for Crawfordsville. That's the big stat we have to look at. 5 turnovers to none. And we've only got a 14-point game, and there's plenty of time left, 5.5 minutes. But North has got to be devastated right now.
1st and 10 for Crawfordsville. They operate from their own 26-yard line. Whitehead comes out wide to the right, and then Whitehead calls timeout as the play clock was running down to only 3 seconds. Coach Chavatello said that Coach Boone was going to talk a little bit about the Crawfordsville seniors tonight. I know that either Tom Lutz or Kurt Slicker will stop and talk to us immediately after the ball game, as they are working here in the coaching box, in the press box area here for North Montgomery.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, this would be an ideal time for a pass.
Pretty close, pretty tight formation on the wide pitch. This is Whitehead. Flynn was the only player out wide to the left side.
And that's all you need.
Yeah, good point. Whitehead is wrapped up by Templeman after a gain of a yard, maybe 2, out shy of the 30-yard line. But the most important thing right now is the big old clock down on that end of the field. And Tom, a lot of North fans are heading out. All those folks are heading to their cars over there. Just tell them to stay off East Market Street by Oak, right?
By Oak Street.
last we heard, I think they got the wreck picked up, but there was a big traffic jam over there. So if you were caught in it for a long time, and I hope you enjoyed having our company, even if it wasn't wanted at the time.
Well, quite frankly, I'm surprised that some of the fans are leaving right now, because 1 turnover and anything can happen at this point.
It could be pretty cold. As on 2nd down and long, the wide pitch goes to Whitehead. Whitehead breaks 1 tackle. He gets around the corner. Tim Flagg hauls him down, but not before Courtney Whitehead picks up about 8.5 yards and enough for a 1st down. Clock stops with 4:33 to go. They move the chains, and now they'll wind the clock and move it.
And Jeff, Crawfordsville's 3rd first down of the 2nd half, but they don't care.
Well, that's
nobody scored a point,
yeah,
and that's an enormous 1st down, because Crawfordsville keeps the clock running. They get a fresh set of downs, and they've got North back on their heels right now.
And they have since the J.D. Flynn 89-yard touchdown pass. It's been about that point. That may have been a major turning point, aside from all those turnovers that we'll talk more about. On 1st down, here's the wide pitch to Whitehead. Whitehead, with both hands around the ball, is hauled down by Gwynn after a gain of about a yard, but he gets it out to about the 39-yard line. And once again, 25 to 30 seconds will run off the clock before Crawfordsville puts it in play again.
Every time Crawfordsville snaps the ball, you're talking about 30 seconds off the clock, whether they pick up 1 yard or whether they pick up 5 or 6 yards. And even if Crawfordsville faces a 4th down, they're punting with about a 30-mile-an-hour breeze to their back. So Crawfordsville's really got a stacked deck right now.
I can tell you where the play is going to go. It's going to go right at Steve Rosenberg down there. He just moved out.
Knocked down yet.
I don't know if he's been knocked down. He's got a brand new Cleveland Indians hat on, too. I see it getting muddy pretty soon here. On 2nd down, quick hitter right up the middle goes to Chad Carey. Carey crosses the 40 out to the 44-yard line. Jason Brown brings brings him down. And now North Montgomery uses their first timeout of this second half of play. 3:17 remain in the fourth quarter clock. North Montgomery trails Crawfordsville 22-8. We'll be back in 30 seconds. We are leaning towards the Southmont South Vermilion game on the first round of the playoffs in 2 weeks. So we'll keep you informed. Stay tuned to WECVL and WIMC. Of course, Harvey, Perk, and Greg will be back next week for the Athenians season finale against Western Boone. On third down and 4, here's Whitehead across the 45. He fumbled the ball. It scoots into North territory, and we don't see any indication of a possession change. And Crawfordsville will have the first down and pick up about 5 yards to boot. Cervantes made the hit, scooted the ball loose away from Whitehead, but it wasn't enough as the ball got out forward and didn't get a number on who fell on the ball, but Perk, Jeremy Powell, thanks to Harvey over there, and a lot of Crawfordsville fans have gotten down close to the fence as they are sensing and getting close to, in fact, less than 3 minutes away from a county championship.
My daughter's down there. I want to make sure there's no kissing out on the field after the game. Keep an eye on it, will you?
On first down, I won't touch that one. I won't touch that no matter what. Here's Carey. Carey just bulls his way across the 45 of North Montgomery down to the 40-yard line. John Sparks hauls him down, but now Crawfordsville's backs. John Roach running with a reckless abandon, and the line really pushing a big line.
That's right. The front line's doing an excellent job for Crawfordsville, just pushing North Montgomery right off the ball. They're doing what they had to do here on this last drive, and that's a lot of first downs.
Crawfordsville can sense victory right now. They are just pushing people back. North looks tired, and Charlie's not calling a timeout here.
Well, and Tom, I'll tell you one thing. You talked about the activity down in the field, but somebody better send a big bucket of Maalox down to Charlie German. He looks like a whip guy down there on the north sidelines right now. Here's the handoff on second down. It goes to Chad Carey. He's going to have another first down at about the 34 or 35-yard line of North Montgomery. The clock stops. We're under 2 minutes to go, and Crawfordsville fans continue to get a little more boisterous. The cold has gone away, right? It's 22-8.
Eighth play of this drive, Jeff. Crawfordsville's all on the ground, taking a lot of clock.
Cotton over center on first down. On the handoff, gives it off to Chad Carey, and he's tripped up right at the line of scrimmage on a nice defensive play by Corey Walden. Walden got out there and just put a hand on it, and then John Sparks made the final hit to put Carey down after a gain of only 1. But the one gain that you talk about, Tom, is that the clock continues to run. The 25-second clock starts right now, 1:09 and counting, as Crawfordsville is one snap of the ball away